So today I'm going to show you the 9 things I wish I knew before hiring a search engine optimization company to help boost the search rankings of our healthcare practices website. Hey, Kyle here from Practice Cloud, where we help doctors, dentists, and other healthcare practitioners grow their private practices with our marketing platform. So as you already know, ranking well in search engines is essential to the success of your private practice. And with over 70% of patients starting their search for a doctor or dentist or any healthcare provider online, if you're not ranking well on page 1, you're going to be ignored. SEO has played a big role in the success of our healthcare center that we co-founded back in 2007, and we've literally seen the highs and lows of search engine ranking. So point number 1 is bedside manners and the human element. The reason I highlight this first is that the human element often gets overlooked in SEO. We know search engines are these big complex robots in Silicon Valley, but we often forget that human element on the other side of every search result. And as you know, in healthcare, we're dealing with sensitive topics and information, and we need to work with a SEO company that has some sort of bedside manner, so to speak, an understanding of what's appropriate and what isn't when it comes to healthcare SEO. Point number 2 is don't believe the hype. So like in any industry, if you're boasting or bragging about your own services, it's a little bit of a red flag. So claims like we'll get you on page 1 of Google or guaranteed results. These are claims that you're going to want to steer clear of. Especially watch out for these if they've come to you in a spammy email, as we've probably already all seen. SEO takes time, so anyone that promises you massive results in a short amount of time is probably selling snake oil. Point number 3 is don't use Google as your filter to find the SEO agency or company. So this may sound a little counterintuitive, but often when you search your area for a SEO company, for example, best SEO company Boston, you'll find a company that's been able to optimize their site for maybe that key term, but might not be able to optimize your particular site in the healthcare industry. So, they might have ranked well for that term, but they may not be able to rank, your dental practice's website. So just use those results when you're searching your local area, like best SEO company Berlin or best SEO company New York. You want to find someone who has a bit more of a diverse ranking and has worked with clients in your industry. So if Google isn't a great filter, who is? Well, that leads us to our next point. That's point number 4, and you want to ask for referrals from people you know or from other local businesses. So asking people that you know or who have had success with ranking their website is a great place to start. So that's, for example, if you're a dentist, you could search for well-ranking physiotherapists in your area or other non-competing healthcare businesses. And if you know them, reach out to them, or if you don't know them, I'm sure they'd be happy to help you out just if you can get that referral of whom they might be using. Sometimes it's often good to work with a local SEO company because search is very localized now, and any local signals that are coming to your site tells the search engines that, okay, this is a relevant business in this area. Point number 5 is goals. You want to get clear on your goals. We don't want to be doing SEO for SEO's sake. Search engine optimization for any local business is really a means to an end. So for example, do you want more traffic or do you want more customers? Because those are actually 2 very different things that often get confused as the same goal. So let's say you want to increase the number of teeth whitening clients or promote a new dental implant service or just increase your patient volumes or improve your online reviews. Knowing which goals you're after will really help the SEO company give you the best strategy that you need to achieve those goals. Examples of bad goals would be, I want more website traffic, or I want to be above competitor Dr. Hopkins across town. On the surface, these might seem like good goals, but they're not really tied to any specific business outcomes. So we want to make sure any SEO goals are tied to a specific business outcome. So that's more patient volume, etc. So once we're clear on our goals, then we can figure out our budget. So point number 6 is budget. Pricing for SEO services ranges from $50 to $15,000 a month. The most important thing to consider here when you're determining your budget is really your return on investment. So if an SEO improvement can bring you 5, 10, 50 new patients a month, what's that worth for you? And By figuring out that lifetime value of those new clients, you can reverse engineer that to work backwards to find out what your budget could be. Also, SEO is a long game. You want to budget for at least a 6-month trial run commitment with any company that you go with. If you're new to this, you can just start small. If you're working with a freelancer, you can start with a small amount, like $500 a month or up to $1,500 a month. So start with a small budget and see what's working. If you see some improvements and results, you can and have a good relationship then with that company, then you can double down after that. Point number 7 is ask for sample deliverables. So as I mentioned before, the SEO return on investment can be hard to track in the short term. So what you're really buying is that deliverable from an SEO company. So you want to be sure that you're going to be receiving consistent communication, deliverables on a bi-weekly or at least monthly report. You want to see some sample reports and sample itemized actions that they're taking each week so you can have some visibility on what's actually happening on your project. When it comes to deliverables, an exported report from Google Analytics or how your keywords are ranking isn't going to cut it. You want to see more detail and you want to see the actual actions that were taken that are taking you towards that goal. Also remember that what happens to your rankings in the search engines is somewhat out of our control, but what is in our control are things like optimizing our site speed, publishing content, collaborating with other local websites. All these things that are in your control all impact our SEO efforts. So the last point on the reports is these will just add more transparency and give you a bit of peace of mind as to what's happening inside the black box of SEO. And if there's a company that isn't willing to give you some nice sample reports up front, just go on to somebody else. Point number 8 is testimonials and case studies. This is an easy one. You just want to see some good testimonials and case studies from the SEO company just to help vet their experience and to see if they might be a good fit for you. And point number 9 is play the long game. As I mentioned above, you have to play the long game when it comes to SEO because while there is often some quick fixes that can be done to your site, it can still take actually quite a long time to see the results. So don't expect results overnight. Unfortunately, it does take a long time to see results, but don't let that get you down. SEO is a really worthwhile investment and it's served our practice over the years and has really become a competitive advantage for us. A quick summary, number 1 is bedside manners and that human element. Number 2 is don't believe the hype. Number 3 is don't always use Google as your filter. Number 4 is ask for referrals from other local businesses. Number 5 is get clear on your goals. Number 6 is your budget. Number 7, ask for sample deliverables. And number 8, get testimonials and case studies. And lastly, we got to play that long game. So as I said at the beginning of the video, I put together just a simple checklist that you can use to help an SEO company. You can get that at practicecloud.com. So go check that out. And if you're looking to attract more patients or enhance your reputation online, check out practicecloud.com for our healthcare marketing platform. So thanks again for watching. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section or shoot us an email. Always happy to help, and we'll talk to you next time. Thanks.